for the household. It is important for not to twist the government when we have some people in different parts of this country facing anger. If there is maize and these farmers are saying this maize must be bought at this price because of fertilizers and other costs of farming, and we can be able to get the same maize from other different parts of the world at a cheaper cost. Yes, the rules of demand and supply, Mr. Speaker, must apply.
There's a point of order. What is out of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think this House is a House of record. Is it in order for the member standing to regard that government is being twisted? I think that is while it is undertaking its role as a government to ensure it supports the producers as well as the consumers, I think the right word should be used. In this case, nobody has come in to twist the government, and the government cannot be twisted. Thank you.
Honorable Ruku, the farmers have no capacity to twist government.
I stand guided, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. The rules of the demand and supply, Mr. Speaker, it is important to allow to apply in the market. And in this case, if we can be able to get cheaper maize from other different parts of the world, it is important to get that maize so that people from my constituency and other constituencies may not starve when we have farmers in Lefty Valley and they don't want to release their stock. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Last, Kamket. Ferdinand, you have come too late, my friend.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. While I want to congratulate the leader of majority for that good statement that came from the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, I want to note, Mr. Speaker, that there has been a tendency by successive administrations to romanticize the farmers and leave out livestock farmers, maize farmers, and there is very little mention you hear, Mr. Speaker. And when you hear members here speak about strategic food reserve, I think the policy that was made from the beginning, I think it's time to include livestock as and livestock products as part of the strategic food reserve, so that those of us who represent livestock farmers are mainstreamed into the affairs of this country. But as it is, Mr. Speaker, when we hear all the good noises about maize farmers and other kinds of farmers, those of us who keep cattle, we hear other
right,
stories.
Kamket, but the question was about importation of maize. So the majority leader would be out of order to start talking about cattle in matters of maize. Majority leader, do you have anything to say about the comments?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think I have noted all the comments, but Honorable Speaker, I think as leaders, we must also bear the responsibility of socializing our farmers to the realities of today's world. That it may not be feasible always that a farmer produces with the expectation that you will sell your produce to government. And we must be able to produce with the expectation that you release that product to the consumers and the market, and allow the market forces of demand and supply to determine the prices of commodities. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, what government should do, and I think the CS has alluded to that, is to ensure that we are able to allow farmers to produce cheaper by making available cheaper inputs and extension services that we make sure that not just our maize farmers, even our livestock farmers, and Honorable Kamket says, are able to access cheaper pasture, also as Honorable Shieni was saying, so that farmers produce cheaper and allow the forces of demand and supply then to determine the cost.